Welcome, dear friends, to a moment of profound spiritual connection. Before we begin these powerful life history prayers of Saint Padre Pio, take a deep breath, calm your mind, and open your heart. These sacred words have touched countless lives, bringing healing, peace, and divine guidance. Stay with us for the next few minutes and let the blessings flow into your life. Together, let's invite the presence of God to surround us. Listen and pray with Mr. Charles. Are you ready?
Padre Pio, a name whispered with reverence, a name that echoes through the halls of faith and devotion, a name synonymous with miracles, unwavering faith, and a life dedicated to the service of God and humanity. Born Francesco Forgione, this humble Capuchin friar from Pietrelcina, Italy, became a beacon of hope for millions around the world. His journey from a small village to becoming a global spiritual icon is nothing short of extraordinary. Padre Pio, through his life of prayer, suffering, and unwavering devotion, embodied Christ's love in a way that touched countless lives. He bore the stigmata, the wounds of Christ, for 50 years. These wounds were a visible sign of his deep spiritual connection and his willingness to share in Christ's suffering for the redemption of souls. This is a testament to his profound connection with the divine, a connection that was both a source of immense pain and a channel of divine grace. Padre Pio's life was a living prayer, a continuous offering of himself to God. Every moment of his day was imbued with a sense of sacredness and purpose. He dedicated himself to God and the service of others, particularly through the sacrament of confession. He spent countless hours in the confessional, offering absolution and spiritual guidance to those who sought his help. People would travel from all corners of the globe to receive his blessing, seeking solace, guidance, and healing from this living saint. His presence brought comfort to the weary and hope to the despairing. He had a profound understanding of human suffering, a deep empathy that allowed him to connect with people on a personal level. This allowed him to offer words of comfort, encouragement, and hope to those who sought him out. His counsel was sought by people from all walks of life, from the humble to the powerful. Padre Pio's prayers were not merely recitations of words. They were heartfelt cries to heaven, infused with deep trust and love for God. His prayers were a lifeline for many, a source of strength and solace. They were heartfelt cries to heaven, infused with deep trust and love for God. He believed in the power of prayer to heal, to forgive, and to transform lives. He believed in the power of prayer to heal, to forgive, and to transform lives. His faith in God's mercy and love was unshakable, and he encouraged others to trust in God's infinite goodness. His prayers continue to resonate with people of all faiths today, offering a path to deeper spirituality and a closer relationship with God. Through his life and his words, Padre Pio invites us to embrace a life of faith, to trust in God's plan and to find peace in his presence. He shows us that even in the midst of suffering, God is near. His life is a testament to the power of faith and the enduring presence of divine love. His legacy continues to inspire millions to seek God's presence in their lives and to trust in his infinite mercy. Padre Pio's story is a reminder that holiness is within reach for all of us, and that through faith we can find the strength to overcome any trial. Stay with me, Lord, for it is necessary to have you present so that I do not forget you. Your presence is my guiding light, my anchor in the stormy seas of life. You know how easily I abandon you. In moments of weakness and doubt, I often find myself drifting away, losing sight of your love and grace. These opening lines of Padre Pio's prayer of trust in God reveal a profound truth about the human condition, our tendency to stray from God's presence. They remind us of our vulnerability and our constant need for divine guidance. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. The constant noise and busyness can drown out the gentle whisper of God's voice. We get caught up in the busyness of life, our worries and our desires. Our minds become cluttered with endless to-do lists, and our hearts grow restless with unfulfilled longings. We forget that our true peace and fulfillment lie in our relationship with God. It is in His presence that we find solace, strength and purpose. Padre Pio understood this struggle. He knew the challenges of maintaining a close relationship with God amidst the chaos of daily life. He knew how easily we can wander from the path that leads to God. The distractions and temptations of the world can lead us astray, making us forget our true calling. This prayer, "Stay with me, Lord," is a heartfelt plea for God's constant presence in our lives. It is a cry for help, a recognition of our need for His unwavering support. It's a reminder that we are not alone in our struggles. We are part of a larger community of believers, all seeking the same divine connection. God is always with us, ready to offer His strength and guidance. His light shines even in our darkest moments, illuminating the path ahead. All we need to do is ask. With a sincere heart, we can invite Him into our lives, trusting that He will never abandon us. When we pray this prayer with sincerity, we invite God to dwell in the depths of our hearts. We open ourselves to His love, allowing it to transform us from within. We acknowledge our need for Him and our dependence on His grace. In doing so, we find the courage to face life's challenges, knowing that we are never alone. We open ourselves to His transformative power, allowing Him to mold us into the people He created us to be. Through this prayer, we reaffirm our commitment to walk with Him, trusting in His divine plan for our lives. Padre Pio was known for his miraculous healings. His life was a testament to the power of faith and the divine intervention of God. Born Francesco Forgione in 1887, he became a Capuchin friar and was later known as Padre Pio. His deep spirituality and dedication to God drew people from all walks of life. People from all over the world flocked to him, seeking his intercession for physical, emotional and spiritual ailments. They came with hope in their hearts, believing that through Padre Pio's prayers they could find relief and solace. His reputation as a healer spread far and wide, transcending borders and cultures. While Padre Pio acknowledged the power of prayer for healing, he always emphasized that true healing came from God. He believed that prayer was a way to connect with the divine, to open one's heart to God's love and mercy. Padre Pio often reminded his followers that it was not he who healed, but God working through him. He saw himself as a humble instrument in God's hands. Despite the adulation and reverence he received, Padre Pio remained grounded in his faith and humility. He spent countless hours in prayer, seeking God's guidance and strength to fulfill his mission on earth. The prayer of Padre Pio for healing reflects this deep faith in God's power. It is a prayer that resonates with those who seek comfort and healing, offering words of hope and trust in God's plan. The prayer is a beautiful expression of surrender and faith. Inviting God's presence into our lives, it's a beautiful and powerful prayer. The words of the prayer are simple yet profound, capturing the essence of Padre Pio's faith and devotion. It is a reminder that in times of suffering and pain, we can turn to God for comfort and healing. It speaks of surrendering our pain and suffering to God and asking for His divine intervention. The prayer encourages us to trust in God's wisdom and to believe that He knows what is best for us. It is a call to let go of our fears and anxieties and to place our trust in God's loving hands. O Lord my God, I ask for your divine healing touch. These words are a plea for God's mercy and compassion, a request for His healing grace to flow into our lives. It is a prayer that acknowledges our dependence on God and our need for His intervention. If it be your will, please restore me to health in body, mind and spirit. This line of the prayer reflects a deep trust in God's will, recognizing that He knows what is best for us. It is a humble request for healing, made with the understanding that God's plan is perfect. This prayer is not just about physical healing, it is a holistic prayer that seeks healing for the entire being, body, mind, and soul. It recognizes that true healing encompasses all aspects of our lives and that we need God's grace in every part of our being. It encompasses the healing of our whole being, body, mind, and soul. The prayer invites us to seek God's healing in every area of our lives, to open ourselves to His transformative power. It is a call to embrace God's love and to allow His healing touch to restore us completely. It acknowledges that true healing comes from within, from a place of peace and surrender to God's will. The prayer reminds us that healing is not just about the absence of illness, but about finding peace and wholeness in God's presence. It is about aligning our will with God's and trusting in His plan for our lives. When we surrender our pain and suffering to God, we open ourselves to His healing grace. This act of surrender is a powerful step towards healing, as it allows us to let go of our burdens and to trust in God's love and mercy. It is an invitation to experience God's healing presence in our lives. Padre Pio's life reminds us that God's ways are not our ways. His life was filled with challenges and suffering, yet he remained steadfast in his faith. He trusted in God's plan, even when it was difficult to understand. His example teaches us to have faith in God's wisdom and to trust in His timing. Sometimes, God's answer to our prayers for healing may not be what we expect. We may not always receive the physical healing we desire, but God always provides what we need. His answers may come in the form of strength, comfort, and peace, helping us to endure our trials with grace. We may not always receive physical healing, but we can always find comfort, strength, and peace in knowing that God is with us. His presence is a source of hope and reassurance, reminding us that we are never alone. In our moments of pain and suffering, we can find solace in God's love. He carries our burdens and shares in our pain. God's love is a constant source of support and strength, helping us to navigate the challenges of life. When we turn to Him in prayer, we open ourselves to His healing grace and find the courage to face our struggles with faith and hope. Life is a journey filled with twists and turns. We face challenges, make decisions, and experience joys and sorrows along the way. It's easy to feel lost and uncertain at times. In these moments, we can turn to those who have gone before us in faith, like Padre Pio, to intercede for us. The prayer to St. Padre Pio for intercession beautifully encapsulates our need for guidance. This prayer begins, "Beloved Padre Pio, you who bore the wounds of Christ and suffered greatly for love of Him. We acknowledge Padre Pio's own suffering and his closeness to God. This makes him a powerful intercessor for us. We ask for his prayers and guidance in our own lives. Hear my prayer, I implore you, and intercede for me before the throne of God. Obtain for me the grace, whether it's for strength in times of adversity, wisdom in making important decisions, or simply the grace to persevere in our faith. Turning to Padre Pio in prayer allows us to tap into the communion of saints. Praying to Padre Pio is not about worshipping him, but rather asking for his prayers and guidance. He, like all saints, stands before God, interceding on our behalf.